Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Lindsay in for Tori today. What's going on, guys?
What's up? Shout out to our makeup team because
Yeah,
1 second before the show started, it was chaos, and then it comes up, everyone's gone.
I know, they like pack it up.
Yeah.
I said I gotta do it on Instagram one day, how fast Dre gets me together.
Yeah.
I give him, it's like when you run through the mad dash to the grocery store to grab everything.
Yeah,
that's how quick he is.
It's unfair because Dre's in his 20s, so he just moves faster than all of us.
Okay, let's get to some serious news. So the father of the Highland Park mass shooting suspect is speaking out. You know, he has a lawyer, but he decided to speak anyway. In an interview with the New York Post, he denies any responsibility for what happened, despite the fact that he sponsored his son to get the weapons used in the massacre. He also talked about a 2019 incident where police were called after his son threatened to kill everyone. He said it was childish, a childish outburst, to quote him, and that all the knives were confiscated by police. They were just a collection, like how he used to collect coins and baseball cards.
Wow.
Not exactly the same, but what do you think of the father's explanation? Does it make sense, or is he in denial? Because parents today, you know, are a lot of hands-off. A lot of people are working 2 jobs. We live in that type of society right now, but how hands-off are you? I know some people were saying they don't follow each other on social media. They didn't see his rap videos online where he was holding guns or making threats, allegedly. So what do you guys think about him coming out and saying this?
Jeff, I'll just ask, do you think that, like, he noticed that the police were at his house?
Multiple times.
Do you think, would that be something you would notice if the police had been in your house a few times to confiscate weapons for your daughter? I think that this denial explains so much. When you see the way that you explain the police coming to your house because there is a community threat coming out of your home from your child, and you call that a childish outburst, like you guys are at the toy store and you're not getting what they want. When you are able in your mind to frame things like that, anything and everything is just fair game. Oh, he was just playing. Oh, he's just joking. That manifesto, kids do that. Oh, he just put it on Facebook. He saw that on a podcast. Like, it explains so much. I don't need to hear anything else from this man.
Yeah.
I got it, bro.
And I'm surprised we're hearing anything at all because he lawyered up with R. Kelly's lawyer, which maybe you should have got a different lawyer.
Different lawyer.
Didn't work out so good for R. Kelly. But he did.
I'm going to get 29 years.
He did get that lawyer. So, I mean, it is a wealthier part of Chicago. It's the upper north side, right, of Chicago.
Can you tell us a little bit about that area?
It's just, you know, it's about, from where I grew up on the north side of Chicago. It's about an hour-and-a-half drive with traffic and stuff. So it's past Evanston, the University of Northwestern, Skokie's right there.
Right.
And then that's where Highland Park is.
Right, like
so
a nice little suburb?
It's a little upper, yeah, like a nice little suburb.
So I want to reiterate that there is a painting that the son allegedly painted on the house that local news reporters were showing that shows a smiley face person with a gun in their hand. Like, what are the signs that the parents actually are saying they did see that they're going to be accountable for? This is your kid that's a whole adult now, that through his life has done things or posted videos online. And so to say you were busy working, like, at what point are we going to say the parent's going to be accountable to walk him down and get him that FOID firearms card? You know, at what point are you going to say, I shouldn't have done that for my kid?
Oh, for sure. That's what I was getting to. It doesn't really matter where they're from or what the suburb is like anyways. It matters who you are as a parent. And I think we're too much like, oh, my kid has this wrong or this is wrong, and everyone gets a ribbon type of parenting, instead of just saying, like, my kid has a problem.
Right.
I don't know if you agree with tattoos on your kid's face or not, but if your kid came home with a tattoo on his face and he was drawing these paintings and he had a knife collection, wouldn't kind of those things add up and be like, hold up a second, something's going wrong? There was domestic abuse called to the house allegedly. For the parents. The kid said he wanted to kill himself and his family multiple times. The numbers add up here. This guy making excuses for why his kid did what he did. We need repercussions. If we're not going to have any gun legislation or red flag laws, or we can't agree on that and everyone wants to keep their guns, keep your guns. If I find out as the government that you walked away from a mass shooting, you will be dead that night. I don't want to hear from your father. I don't want to hear from your best friend. I don't want to hear from your cousin. You are going to be executed that night. I know that sounds rough and people don't want to hear that, and we live in the United States and there's due process, but I'm tired of all this. I'm tired of arguing. You should be put to bed like an animal. That's where I stand.
Where was the due process for those 2 parents that were dead on top of their 2-year-old?
There is none.
Like that,
Al. Where's the due process for the 2-year-old?
And, you know, Jeff, as he's talking to Lindsay, I want to get your thoughts on this. When Jeff used to say we should execute them and like there should be some really harsh punishments, I'd be like, well, I see where he's coming from, but that's a little. But I mean, at this point, where we are now, where we can't even really do our show because we have so many shootings, do we need to have some extreme repercussions to combat extreme life circumstances in 2022 and stop looking at this like this is 1971, because it's not anymore?
For sure, and I think especially as a gun owner, you have to lock up your guns, and you have to be, whether the kid went in your house and took the gun from their parents and then committed a shooting, or the adult, I should say, man, then that's your fault because you didn't safely lock away your gun. If you do have one and you help them assist, get them one, and you know that your child that turns into an adult has mental illness or some issues that are red flags in the family and in the household, maybe you should be accountable as well. So I think that, like Jeff was saying, and like you're saying, we have to hold people accountable, because that's the first step, is that it happens in your household. And somebody's under your care until they're 18 years old. And so a lot of these incidences happened when he was still high school aged.
Right.
And so that, to me, is on the parents and on every single person that stopped by that house, from the mental health supervisor who left no notes for anybody local or federally, or they were not shared with anyone, or left no notes, and the police officers that came by multiple times for alleged domestic disputes or for alleged knives in the house and for threats, and left no notes. This is all problematic and flaws in a flawed system that we have to fix.
Yeah,
so
you got to make people work, and people work when they feel like they're going to be fired. So I think you're exactly right.
Right. So we have an update about the Uvalde shooting in Uvalde, Texas. We're now learning a police officer has his rifle aimed at the gunman before he entered the school. The officer asked his supervisor for permission to take the shot, but his supervisor either didn't hear him or didn't respond in time. This is just the latest example of a police officer failing to act to stop the gunman. So the question is, should he have just taken the shot, or should he have waited for that permission? And what would have happened if he would have killed the gunman? Like, would there be repercussions? Because there are people on one side saying he would be scared to take that shot without permission for fear that he might lose his job.
Right. Well, full disclosure, on our morning meeting, we talked to somebody in law enforcement, a very credible source, and they were saying that they would have taken the shot. And it seems like just a human thing, Jeff. This was not like, he wasn't just walking into school casually with a book bag and you couldn't tell. There had already been an engagement with the police. They knew that he had a weapon going into school, and he knew if he let him go into school that bad things were going to happen, and he chose not to for whatever reason. I don't understand this. I wanted to know your thoughts when you heard this.
Well, you know, I was thinking exactly you, but then I stopped myself and I try to look at both sides of the story, and I'll push the other side a little bit. As a police officer in 2022, okay, 5 years ago, I would have said, you take that shot. This guy crashed his car on school property, got out with the gun, and went into the school. You take that shot as an officer. 2022? I'm back there. I saw this guy crash. I don't know if he's holding a branch. I don't know what he's holding. If I take that shot and kill that kid and he's holding a branch, guess who's on the front page of the news? Guess who's victim number one? Me, not that kid. I don't know what he's doing. So my fear now, just like I went to the parade on Monday for 4th of July, I was like, man, there's a lot of people here. I was thinking about like shootings. 5 years ago, I wouldn't have thought that. There's different things now in people's heads that cause them to pause and think about what they're doing. So on that side, I understand him not taking that shot.
I think in this case, and Lindsay, please correct me if you know different, I believe they knew that he had already shot his grandmother at that point. So
we know that they had conflict in communication between the entire police department.
Point.
So who knows what that exact officer knew, but I do know that we talked to a retired LAPD sergeant who said that, quote, Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey said, quote, he did not need approval from a supervisor to discharge his gun to save a life. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So with that strong of a statement, you know, all I want to know is that what is the thought here? Because, you know, there are officers that kill people that are unarmed, doing nothing, and we talk about it all the time.
Right.
But this man was armed in front of a school building, and if we're not going to save an innocent child's life, whose life are we going to save for the, you know?
What would the quote be had he took that shot from long range and shot that boy, but the boy just had a stick in his hand? What would the quote be?
But he wouldn't have been there if they didn't know that there was something wrong. Like
I'm just saying we have to look at this socially too. Let's not just be blind about that as well.
There's definitely a social aspect to this, but the idea that it seems like at every single step they made the wrong decision. That's the really scary thing, because we keep saying,
and I totally agree with you. I'm not defending.
We have to talk about both sides of this. But yeah, at every single step, this law enforcement made the wrong decision. It's like, where's the Department of Justice? Where's the Texas FBI? Who's investigating this? It's got a city council seat the next week. So I don't
definitely not defending the Uvalde Police Department.
No, we're going to keep talking about this because new details keep coming out. But coming up on DBL, a viral video has everyone talking. Are you horrified at a messy house, or can you relate? And Japan makes cyberbullying a crime. Well, we'll explain why people are criticizing the move to stop online harassment.
Closed captioning provided by
Like,
I know, but that makes me. When you said that, I was like, listen, did someone just watch the terminal list? Because take it easy.
And I think that's the issue, and like Lindsay, you brought this up, is like we don't really know exactly what happened because the Uvalde Police Department started lying from the beginning. Remember the resource officer that didn't exist?
Yeah.
So now we're that
or the person outside. Yeah.
This
The
is
communication has been so jarred that I can't confidently say
Right.
if he knew. No matter how many news reports that you read, you can't confidently say what everyone knew at the time because the story has changed every day that I read a news report. So that's why it's kind of like who knows what he knew.
As a police officer, you got to think like if you don't know exactly what's going on, just take all that other stuff that we already know that they messed up and the whole thing. As a police officer, if you do have a long-range shot, apparently that's what it was. Like, again, we don't know. I'm kind of painting my own picture. I probably don't have all the facts. But are you going to shoot a kid not knowing 100% what's going on?
Killing somebody is final. So for sure, I think we should think about that. And on the other hand, which I think is a terrible situation, which Al is close to because of the location that it happened, was with Samir Rice. He had a toy gun in his hand, and they shot him. And that's a little kid, though, so I think it's totally different,
he was 12,
too. Yeah, that's a little child. So,
and he was on the playground.
Right,
you know?
so you can't make those kind of mistakes.
Right.
And it's such that's it. We're trying to like piece together like what we make an opinion out of something that we kind of can't because they haven't given us any facts. I don't know. They said that he shot his grandmother, left the home. The police engaged him.
Uvalde,
The police.
I forgot what shooting we were talking about. Al, for a second.
I'm sorry. I'm skipping around in shootings. It's so
ridiculous.
Sad. They ran him off the road, but then they didn't stop him. And didn't warn the school he was coming.
And how is not everyone not in communication, right? On the same thing, like
school down.
How often does that happen in a small town?
It's still the strangest case in terms of
right. So if everyone's like, hey, we got someone just shot his grandmother's school. He's on school ground now.
Welcome back. Starting today, posting online insults is now a crime in Japan. People convicted can be fined and could even spend up to a year in jail. The law is intended to help to prevent suicides that result from cyberbullying. But some critics say it's a threat to free speech. So DBL Nation, we want to know what you think. Should cyberbullying be a crime here in America? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. Man, I mean, I really appreciate protecting kids, especially that are being cyberbullied and that have committed suicide or are thinking about committing suicide. That's a big deal. But when does it go too far about like who decides what's actually bullying, or when somebody can step in, or parents monitoring social media, or the social media sites monitoring commentary and just getting rid of accounts that violate their terms? Yeah. Like, who are we putting the onus on?
There's going to have to be like a roast judge to be like, hey, he was just clowning you right there.
Right.
He kind of got a good one in. And then the other ones are like, he's bullying Jeff, saying he should kill himself. That's terrible. Like, like you're saying, I don't know what the line is in somebody that's made jokes for a living. I feed my kids with jokes. I would be very worried that political satire, any kind of commentary with somebody that didn't like you, especially people that don't like to be criticized in any way, would be like, I'm trying to discuss this video and Al's bullying me. So, like, I got to go to jail now?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And then if your opinion doesn't match up with somebody's, then you're somehow committing a crime. It's a very slippery slope. I'm all about free speech, but I also want something done online. I don't know if this is maybe an extreme. I think the first step is kind of getting everyone their own social media. So you're responsible for what you put out. No edits, no deletes. I put it out there. You said it. We'll have someone else be the judge and do that. But if you're leaning to one side politically or saying something that might be a joke, you're going to go to jail for that. That's a very slippery slope.
So I'm down with the fine, I think. Maybe the fine. But jail time is ridiculous. I mean, jails are already in most places, well, America mostly, overcrowded with people that have low-level things happening. And if you're threatening somebody online, like, okay, I hate the way that you look today, that's not something to go to jail for. Like, what's the barometer of the threat? And I just think I have a soft place in my heart for kids because I know how tough it is just walking through a school and being bullied in any capacity. So online makes it harder because people from everywhere can bully you at any time that you've never had any contact with. So you don't have to face them.
I also think kids make mistakes, right? Kids do stupid things. Kids pick on each other. Things happen. I'd see my kid. I'm like, oh man. You don't want either side for your kid, right? But I think this is more of a deterrent than anything. I don't know how much they're going to enforce this, but I think any sort of deterrent for anything, whether it be gun laws or this, just one step harder for people to do something. You're like, man, maybe I shouldn't.
And I think it's almost like driving with the expired registration. Like, you could do it,
right?
You'll probably be fine, but you don't, because if you get pulled over, it's going to be a huge pain. And I think what you guys are saying is correct. I think just the fact that it's there and letting people know, maybe highlighting a couple examples. I remember like when people used to steal music off Napster, like 1 or 2 people got sued or something for like $4 million, like some guy in his basement. But that's like how things spread back then.
Yeah.
People were like,
Okay, let's see what the
anymore.
audience thinks. So, should cyberbullying be a crime in America? 84% say yes.
Oh, wow.
16 say no. Oh my gosh.
84% are
Tough
writing me the show
crowd.
saying, "Hey, Jeff, go kill yourself."
Jeff gotta get banned off all social media.
They should all be arrested.
Coming up on DBL, a mom is going viral for sharing her messy house. Is this relatable or just plain gross?
There is nothing I like better than finding a great deal on travel. And it turns out, I'm not alone. Verify viewer Catherine emailed us to ask, is there a certain day of the week that's cheapest to buy a plane ticket? So Catherine, let's verify. Our sources are Scott's Cheap Flights, a study by cheapair.com, and Brett Snyder, president of Cranky Concierge Travel Assistance and a former airline pricing analyst. Some studies suggest Tuesday or Saturdays are the cheapest days to buy tickets, but all of our sources say they usually rely on flawed or outdated data. For example, some articles suggest that weekends are the cheapest days to buy. Snyder points out that's based on data that tracks the average amount spent on a ticket each day of the week. Families tend to buy their tickets on weekends and usually purchase less expensive tickets. Meanwhile, business travelers tend to buy their tickets during the week, and many are less price sensitive.
A lot of the business travel, premium cabin or even last minute or whatever it might be, those tend to be higher fares.
The end result is a study that has skewed data. Similar articles suggest Tuesdays offer the best deals, but our sources say that's also not the case. Scott's Cheap Flights explains on its site that this idea is a holdover from the 1990s, when airlines used to upload special e-fares on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. These days, Snyder says airlines use sophisticated algorithms to consistently adjust fares based on demand, regardless of what day of the week it is.
This hasn't existed for years. I couldn't tell you the last time when those actually were out there in the market.
So we can verify, no, there is not a certain day of the week that's cheapest to buy a plane ticket. So when should you book? Cheapair.com found domestic tickets are generally cheapest 3 to 15 weeks before departure. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. So a mom of 4 has gone viral after posting videos of her messy home on TikTok. In a moment of pure honesty, she filmed her home in its natural state of messiness. And the video has received millions of views. Take a look.
I know I'm gonna get roasted. I know it. But this is what happens when 2 really lazy adults have 4 kids and don't clean up after themselves, because, yeah, it's a mess. 4 days, guys. I have not done dishes or picked things up for 4 days, and this is what my house looks like. It is not dirty. It is simply messy, okay? And so that's what I'm gonna do today.
She also posted this time-lapse video proving that she actually does clean up with her husband once in a while. No, it's going to be a no for me. I can't even look at
every single thing of every person's life. Hey guys, I had a stomach virus. Like, I don't need to know every single thing that goes on in your dirty household.
Okay, look,
that's unacceptable.
Okay, I think it's important to show, especially with kids, that like everything's not together. Like even traveling with kids, I wanted to say how hard it is.
I
know, because sometimes your house gets a mess, but like this is more than a mess. This is like
what
sloppy.
got you when you're like, okay, it went from sloppy, acceptable to like,
well, no dishes in 4 days. I can't go to sleep without the dishes out the sink. They have to at least be in the dishwasher. Colin and I agree on that.
I couldn't go to bed if my house looked like this. I could not go to bed.
This is a very triggering video for me, because I remember in college, and I actually pitched a show based on my boys' kind of dormitory room. I had 3 friends that all lived together, and it was so gross in their dorm. There would be like just muddy boots in the sink, and and they just had taken a trash can from outside, and it was just inside with just food stack, just old fish. It was so disgusting, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm never gonna live like this again, because I had to stay there, I had to crash there, and so like I keep my place pretty clean, man.
He's saying crash because he doesn't want to admit that he lived in the mess.
I didn't even have a place to live, so I was like happy to be there. But it was so gross. Like I can't live like that.
Do you ever go visit your buddies back in LA after you moved away?
Yeah.
One of my buddies, like right when I moved back from Los Angeles, he had these rabbits and he used them for like one of the movies he filmed, but then he just kept them in his living room, and like me and Jordan went back to visit, and she's like, we're not staying here.
Yeah.
And there was rabbits like running around the living room. I'm like, buddy, you got to clean up a little bit.
Yeah, as an adult, it's almost like I prefer to get a hotel than somebody who has way too much going on in their house, no matter what it is. If it's mess, definitely I'm sleeping in a hotel.
If people have those small pets like birds and hamsters, you're like, there's a little animal funk in there. You know?
I didn't want to say.
Gross. It's just like that low-level, like closed vet. I don't like.
Don't invite Al to sleep over your house. We'll be right back.
You know, there's just a lot of birds.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by.
For 50 years, the Clean Water Act has given the federal government the authority to protect rivers from pollution. But this viral TikTok claims the Supreme Court just struck the law down.
I'm literally losing sleep over the fact that the Supreme Court overturned our Clean Water Act. There's no one really talking about it. And they did it in a closed docket.
So let's verify. Did the Supreme Court overturn the Clean Water Act? Our sources, the Supreme Court, the Northern District Court of California, the EPA, and the Code of Federal Regulations. The Supreme Court did rule on a case involving the Clean Water Act this year. Unlike some other big rulings you've heard about recently, this one didn't come out in June, it came out in April. That's because it wasn't a full case with oral arguments. It was a case on the emergency or shadow docket. That's when the Supreme Court issues a temporary ruling on a case it believes can't wait to complete the normal appeals process. So, what was that ruling about? Well, the court weighed in on an ongoing dispute about how to enforce the Clean Water Act. There's a section of that law that says companies need to get state permission before they can build any sort of project that might affect the water supply. And for the past few years, there's been a lot of debate about how to actually interpret that law, specifically when states should be allowed to deny permits using this law. Now, some states, energy groups, and the Trump administration argued it should only be in very limited cases. Other states and environmental groups argue states should be allowed to reject permits for a wide variety of reasons. A recent district court ruling sided with the environmental groups. The energy groups appealed, and the appeals court has not yet issued a ruling. But in the meantime, the energy groups also asked the Supreme Court to weigh in on an emergency basis. SCOTUS agreed 5-4 to do that and sided with the energy groups. Now, because it was a temporary emergency order, we don't get any explanation as to why. We did get a dissent from the 3 liberal justices, Kagan, Breyer, and Sotomayor, joined by Chief Justice Roberts. They argued that this isn't really an emergency, and so there was no reason for SCOTUS to intervene in the normal appeals process. The Supreme Court's decision means, for now, a more lax interpretation of the Clean Water Act is in effect, making it easier for companies to get their projects approved. But what it doesn't mean is that the Clean Water Act was overturned. That was never even on the table here. All the court did was temporarily weaken one aspect of enforcement of the Clean Water Act. It can make a permanent decision after the appeals court gives its ruling, or just decide to allow whatever that ruling is to stand. Either way, we can verify no. The Supreme Court did not overturn the Clean Water Act. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
Turns out mowing your lawn in different directions does a lot more than just make your lawn look good. Let's connect the dots. According to experts, the direction you push the mower can make or break your turf. That's because if you mow your lawn in the same direction each time, grass blades will start to grow in that direction. By alternating patterns, you let the blades grow straighter and healthier. Switching directions also avoids rutting. That's because if you run your mower the same way each week, ruts will start to form. It's not just the direction that matters, but length too. If you cut your grass too short, you can end up with dead or drying patches scattered across your lawn. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back. Summer is here, and so are your sweet, sweet deals. I love that. You're going to love these new products from our friends at Morning Save.
So what do you have for us today, Steph?
Hey Jeff, hello DBL Nation. You know what day of the week it is. It's time for some great deals and even better products, so let's get to it. First up, we've got a 2-pack of Sunovo Solar 12-foot LED string lights. So this deal includes 2 string lights, 2 dual remote solar panels, and 2 rechargeable batteries. Normally, these are $76, but we've got them for $24, saving everyone $68.
Wow, always great deals, Steph.
You're gonna love this next one too, Jeff, because this is a fan favorite, because we've got Cuisinart Chef's Classic stainless steel 11-piece cookware set. So this deal includes a 1.5 quart saucepan with a lid, 2.5 quart saucepan with a lid, 3 quart saute pan with a lid, and an 8 quart stock pot with a lid, and an 8-inch skillet, a 10-inch skillet, and a steamer insert. All right, so normally, given how much you're getting, this is $500, and I think that's a great price. But you guys are going to be blown away because we are selling it for $149. That's saving 70%. For this next product, we've got Sunovo 1800W electric double burner. So this deal includes 1 double burner that can turn your camp cooking into gourmet glamping. So normally, this is $60. But we've got it, Jeff, for just $35, saving everyone 42%. We've got the Real Simple IPX4 splash-proof Bluetooth shower speaker. So this deal includes 1 shower speaker, and it has this little cute hanging strap, look, and it's got a suction cup, so you can stick it on your shower, and it comes with a charging cable. So normally, this is $40, and for waterproof technology, that's not bad. But we've got them for $15. Saving everyone 63%.
All right, thank you so much, Steph. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can scan the QR code on the screen to take you directly to these products and more on Morning Save's website. Again, thank you so much, Steph.
So just back to that messy house, Just Me on YouTube said, what's up with people to share the most personal parts of their life? Boredom, ego, insecurity, or a quest for followers?
The last one.
Really?
Followers.
But I think something's nice about the authenticity that people don't have it all together. We always see everybody so polished online.
Yeah. If someone came over when I was growing up and my house looked like that, first of all, I would never with my parents. She would rather die than have them come inside the house.
I thought about my grandmother, Marcella. It would not happen. No. Even if we had an earthquake, she would straighten up before people came over.
DBL is new every day. See you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, y'all.